Hello tanks and tankettes, welcome to one of my games, and it's the IS-4. We actually had one of these replays only about a month ago, but that was one from way back in the archives. This one, however, is hot off the presses. This is from just 2 days ago. I actually had a number of good games on Monday, but this is the one I'm going to go with first because it has a couple of medals that I don't get very often. And I'll leave it up to you to decide whether it was a very skillful game or whether I just got exceptionally lucky with the circumstances. I will also say that this replay is unfortunately rather jerky. It's 913 replay obviously, but even within a single patch, for some reason the replays can vary a lot in quality, and it's been a little bit of an issue for a while now. I think actually since the early 9.x patches with this kind of jerkiness in some of the replays, and this one it's especially noticeable. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. I also had a go at recording 50 FPS, but it would not play smoothly, so instead I cranked up a bunch of the graphics settings and it's playing at 30 instead, so we get like lighting and shadows and all that good stuff at maximum. Although I think I forgot to turn on anti-aliasing, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, that's how the sausages are made, or something. So this is exceptionally good matchmaking for myself and Seafalcon. We are the only tier 10s on our team. The enemy team has got a 57 heavy and an E50M, but they're not platooned. We're a top tier platoon, so this is a recipe for success. If we can, you know, not just derp out. One of the other games we had in the evening was myself, Seafalcon and Snooze, all in E5s, and the very first game where we tried that, we derped out massively, and I suspect it was just overconfidence because we were like, oh yeah, well, we're in E5s, we'll just ruffle stomp everything. It didn't quite go according to plan. So, yes, even in the strongest tanks, it is possible to derp out, even when you've got players like Seafalcon and Snooze at your side. So I spotted that the WZ got all the way down here, which means there's nothing big and nasty sitting on the one line. He has gotten himself into a bit of a pickle though. He can't... I mean, he could have withdrawn up to where I am, and instead he just goes all in against the T-57 Heavy, and that's a risky move. But it means I'm definitely free to move up. I mean, I know that much. This guy might be giving his tank away, but at least it's giving me the intel that I can start pressing forwards and maybe doing some damage. Now, there is artillery down here, but hopefully I've got a house between me and them. And, oh, hello, side an ST1. No, okay, that was a bit of a snapshot. Probably went on his turret. The WZ somehow has managed to survive this long, and I suspect the SP1C had the autoloader, but I don't reload quite in time to save the guy. Although he backed out in front of the ST1 and the T-57 Heavy. It wasn't like he was trying to run away especially, so I don't know. So I get one in the road wheel of the ST1, so that's fine. He's a nice low health kill for somebody. And this T-57 Heavy is a nice low health kill for me, if I can take him. There we go. ST1 meanwhile still alive, but I think Seafalcon is just about to nab him. Meanwhile, I'm going to plonk a shot into artillery, and if I roll high, I can kill him, but no, that's actually quite a low roll, 342. I think the average on this gun is, what, 440? So that's nearly 100 damage missing from that shot, so that's a little unfortunate when you can't just one-shot an artillery in your tier 10 heavy, but anyway, sometimes you are just completely at the mercy of RNG. So, we have cleared out this end of the town, but there's still quite a lot of the enemy tanks remaining, including their E50M and their Tier 9 artillery. So I'm heading back up north on the assumption that they're going to push round from the north, because as we can see from the minimap traces, they pushed up round there, they took out our team that was in the north, and, well, this would be a good time for them to come round behind us and try and flank, basically. Or else maybe some of them go back and they try an encircling manoeuvre. But we're actually not that far apart on numbers, so that would be a slightly risky manoeuvre. So the RU-251's been spotted. There's a lever there that Seafalcon's just taken out, so that's one less tank. That's good. It's an SP1C. And not a lot else. The PTA and the 50M have gone down south. There's the T-54 Mod 1. There's the WZ. So they've kind of gone down the middle track area rather than trying to push round. The VKD has come in here, however, and I put one shot in, assuming that the T-34 can finish him off. He's on 351 health. That's an easy one shot for the T-34 if he doesn't roll absurdly low. The T-34 is also full health, he can just go forward and kill this guy. Easy kill. I, meanwhile, go for the SP1C, and he is derping out a little bit himself, because instead of running away in a sensible fashion, well, he does try and use the building, but I can just hit reverse, and this is all just auto-aim. Bam, there we go. So that's a nice 2-shot for me, bit more damage. So up to 3k damage already, and this is a reasonable result. Now, we've lost a lot of the team in the meanwhile. Myself and Seafalcon are still alive, but I'm still full health, and do you see what I mean when I said at the start that maybe this was just a really, really lucky recipe for success? Because I can just... I mean, I've got the armor, I've got the hit points. Okay. Auto-aim didn't work quite so well that time. So I can just drive forward and kill these people if artillery doesn't get me, and that is still something that's in play. That tier 9 arty could be nasty. That tier 9 arty, hell, if he landed a shot into my engine deck and I started burning or whatever, that, you know, that would be bad. That would be bad. It's not quite a CGC where you can one-shot tier 10 heavies, but that tier 9 American arty is still very dangerous. So I hesitated a bit on the WZ. I was trying to side scrape for some reason, and Seafalcon was like, no, dude, you just have to just go for him, just press forward, there's no reason to hang back. And of course he was right. So I go forward, finish him off, he'd taken some damage. Unfortunately, the artillery finishes Seafalcon, and that is, well, it's good news for me, but it's bad news for the team potentially. Now, I've taken my first bit of damage from that Leopard PTA, but he is very low health, and I might take a little bit more, but my main concern is taking out the E50M, who, there we go, he's at least a 2-shot. In fact, no, now he's a 1-shot. The IS-3 died, but got off a shot before he died, so he's left that 50M very low health for me, which is useful. I'm up to a top gun already, by the way. Now, apart from the SP1C, which I killed from full health, everything has been relatively low damage. So yeah, this has been one of those games where I was just able to run around and hoover up all the low health kills, and it's always nice when that happens. It doesn't happen very often, but this is turning out to be one of those games. So anyway, where's that E50M? Oh, well, there he is. He gets in a hit, but bam, there we go. Now that was a snapshot. That was a little bit lucky, but I'm pretty sure I could have killed him. It's just, it may well have taken longer to do so. And I'm pretty sure I actually also, again, used auto-aim because it's the side of his tank. I auto-aimed and fired, and the server reticle must have only just caught up, because that was really, in some ways, that was a really very lucky shot. But that takes me to 7 kills, just under 4,000 damage. If I can get this last kill, this is going to be a Radley-Walters. So we'll see. Now, tier 9 arty, this guy, I mean, I rolled low on the GW Tiger P. Maybe I'll get luckier. Maybe I'll roll high and one-shot this guy, because the T-34 is also going north. I don't want my kill to get secured by this guy. I could load an HE shell, but that's a bit of a risky proposition, because offhand, I don't know what the superstructure of the M53-55 is like. Some arties, I mean the French arties in particular, it's always worth firing HE into the superstructure if you have the time to, you know, safely load up an HE shell, because they're very, very thin. But some arties are deceptive. I mean, some of the German ones, I think some of the Soviet ones are actually thick enough that HE will not be a guaranteed pen. Anyway, my first shot, again, a bit of a snapshot, because I thought he might fire, and he did, but he missed. It went in the tracks, and then, there we go. Praise be to our end Jesus, I get the final kill, and that's a Radley-Walters. In addition to the Radley-Walters, I also got a Nadines medal, which is another medal I don't get very often. So that's a double whammy of rare medals. The Nadines is for killing all of the enemy light tanks, basically, which I did. I also got a high caliber, and that was my first gun mark on the IS-4. So, yes, this may well be the easiest Radley-Walters game I have ever had. I just was driving around killing stuff left, right and centre. And as you can see, Seafalcon also had a pretty decent game, but his was ended a bit prematurely by that artillery, unfortunately. But if it hadn't been, maybe I wouldn't have gotten the Radley-Walters, because Circon and an E50M running around at the end game when there's lots of low health stuff, yeah, you're not going to get the kill secures unless you're very lucky. So that was, for me, a pretty good match, but it wasn't even the best match of the evening, not by a long shot, although that double medal award was nice. I don't have a lot of Nadian's medals, I don't have a lot of Radley-Walters medals. But most of the other ones I've had to work a lot harder than that, to be honest. So, yeah, I leave it up to you to decide. Was that just a complete fluke out? Was that just a recipe for success that everything fell into my lap? Because I'm kind of inclined to think it was. But it was a nice result all the same. So, hopefully you've enjoyed this. And if you have, you can leave any comments about it below. You can hit the like button. You can sub to my channel. And, as always, stay tuned for more.